Hello Oracles! Well, Tesla tested the resistance up today at 313 and got rejected again. So we've seen this in the past. This 313 level, 312 to 315, was rejected previously prior to the split at that 940 to 945 level. So we're seeing this rejection happening yet again. So now we're taking a look at the FOMC meeting coming up tomorrow. This, I think, is going to swing us one way or the other. Tesla has been outperforming the market significantly for the last 2 weeks. So Tesla today was only down about 0.1%. So we were up nicely, but the market was down a lot more than that. We were down over 1% in both the S&P and the NASDAQ. So with the Tesla being down only 0.1%, that is a big outperformance. So now looking at what's going on going forward, my gut is kind of telling me like I feel a run coming in the stock. I was talking about it previously. I felt a run coming from mid-September, but it's almost like we started our run too soon and the market is underperforming. So seeing that the RSI is still a little over 61 and we were still at lower volume today at 61 million shares trading hands, I'm kind of wondering if we are going to get a dip before this run into October or if market manipulators are going to swing something in a different direction. Just something that I kind of thought of on my ride home tonight was, I wonder if Tesla has been outperforming the market because people have been putting their money there and they're going to then pull their money out and put it in other places to then make money there and then swing Tesla back up. Just kind of something that came into my head. How far back we would pull with Tesla, I don't know. The levels that we have below us right now are $300 for that psychological level. We've got that 289 to 290 partial gap that we need to fill, a support level at 278, and then a strong support at 265. Below that, we have the 258 gap, the 247 gap, and then the strong support at 245. Again, I don't know how far or if we are going to fall down to those levels, but just to give you guys an idea of what levels we have below us. Now, I do apologize. I was going to do a live stream tonight, but my son ended up having a soccer game that got moved to a later time, so I was actually able to go to it. So I apologize, but watching my son's soccer game does take priority over you guys. So I got to see that. It was awesome. The boys won. My kid got his first yellow card ever. It was pretty awesome. But I cannot share the stuff with you guys tonight just because it's a late video. But one of the patterns I did see forming over the course of the day today was a head and shoulders pattern. So something to pay attention to when you guys are watching the charts over the course of the day when we're hitting these resistance levels. So when we hit that 312 to 313 level, I was paying attention because usually you get a triple bounce. And that triple bounce on that third time, if you break through, usually you run past that. If you get rejected, you usually fall far. Today, we got rejected on that third bounce and we fell down to that 305 level before we recovered, coming back up to fall flat on the day at 308. So these are just things to pay attention to on the daily charts if you're looking to educate yourself on how kind of the stock movements go over the course of the day. Now again, when it comes to the stock movements and the charts, technical analysis works because people follow technical analysis. That's strictly what it is. People who are following it, so people understand, hey, there's a resistance level at that 312, 313 level, so we're going to see what's going on there and see what kind of volume pushes through. That's where bulls and bears are going to fight, and then they're either going to fall back or you're going to break through. Usually, in order to break through those levels, you need some heavy volume. Due to the fact that we have the FOMC meeting going on tomorrow, I knew that there wasn't going to be a lot of heavy volume coming in today because there's nothing driving it forward. There's too much uncertainty tomorrow for a lot of people to come in and just, with buying pressure, push the stock forward. Tomorrow, if the market decides that it wants to buy after the FOMC decision with the interest rates, perhaps at that point we do end up pushing through. So this is something to pay attention to tomorrow. I think tomorrow is going to be a pivotal day. Do we run up and the stock market cruises north and we end up breaking through that 313 level? Or do we fall down and start paying attention to levels below us at that 300 level and then 290? These are just things that I'm paying attention to in the charts. Again, I dollar cost average every single day, and long term, I think the stock is going to do great. But for people who are looking to, maybe time the market a little bit more, maybe you can't dollar cost average with fractional shares on a regular basis, and you are looking for a lower level, these are just some things to pay attention to. And looking at the S&P, they've got support at 3850, and we are just above that at 3855. So if we break down below that, we may end up falling to lower levels like the 3300 that people were talking about. That's a long ways to go. We'll see what happens, but just something to pay attention to. And now something I was paying attention to for long-term status of the stock and versus competition and how they are coming up. So many people are still out there saying, well, competition is coming. So just taking a look at, how far Tesla is ahead and how Tesla can stay ahead and have competition not be able to catch them. One of the formulas I'm starting to come up with, and please share in the comments below what you think a good formula would be, because this just came into my head. I haven't even started coming up with a formula for it, is the waitlist time versus the production ramp speed. So that is, how long of a wait time and lead time is there to get your vehicle versus how quickly is a company ramping. So we're talking about Shanghai in particular right now, where, the wait times have come down significantly. Again, we know that they prioritize in the last month of the quarter for domestic deliveries. So that is going to speed up there. But when it comes to, let's say, the US, where they're not doing that as much, when we see delivery times and lead times, how far out they are with production growing, you would think that if production is ramping exponentially and demand is falling, that wait times would fall significantly as well. We are not seeing that here in the US. We are seeing it pull back a little bit as we are ramping up, and we'll probably see it more as Austin does ramp at a higher pace as well going into next year. But that is a formula I'm trying to come up with. And again, I just came up with this in my head earlier today, haven't had a chance to figure it out. So if you guys can come up with a mathematical formula to figure out how to get the wait time and production ramp speed together combined to see how Tesla compares to Legacy Auto and all the other startups, that would be awesome. I will also be working on this. And the reason I started going through all of this in my head was something that I had seen in an article about how, Legacy Auto right now is talking about how they can only produce as few vehicles as they can due to the fact that they have supply chain issues. So here's my thoughts. My thoughts are, well, if GM right now is only able to produce 12 to 15 vehicles per day when it's coming to their EVs, and they're being held back to those levels due to supply chain issues, how are they possibly going to be able to get themselves to 100 or 1,000 vehicles per day when Tesla is pumping out over 3,000 vehicles per day out of Shanghai alone? So these are just things that I'm thinking about when Legacy Auto says that they are going to catch Tesla by 2025. How is it possible when you can't even overcome supply chain issues right now with your EVs? Now, if they're going to argue the fact that they're focusing their supplies on their ICE vehicles versus their EVs, again, how are you going to catch up with EVs? We know that Tesla prioritized EVs over all of their energy business. Now they have enough batteries and chips to supply both. So Tesla has obviously overcome these bottlenecks, and they are already working on the bottlenecks that they foresee going in the future when they're going to be producing multiple millions of vehicles per year, when Legacy Auto can't even figure out how to do multiple thousands of vehicles per year. And then another thing I thought about was, the culture behind Tesla and the leadership. Tesla has an enormous fan base. Clearly they do. There's a lot of people who come out and they want to support Tesla. And a huge reason behind that is because Tesla actually produces a product that people want. And it is such a good product, they want to share it with everyone else. Literally, it's like a kid with a brand new toy who wants to show that new toy off to all of their friends because it's just so cool. And this is exactly what Tesla is and what Tesla provides. They didn't have to go out there and try and sell their vehicle to anyone. They just said, hey, this is what we're providing. This is our mission. People bought it and said, darn, that's pretty good. And then other people are like, hey, that is pretty good. Hey, you want to try it out? Cool. I want to buy one too because it is cool. Meanwhile, we've got Legacy Auto going out here and they're trying to sell their vehicles. They literally have to be like, this is what we are going to provide. They're trying to move their business forward with words when Tesla is moving their business forward with actions. And now Tesla has been doing it for 10 years. They have the actions. They did have to use words in the beginning, sure. But that just shows how far behind Legacy Auto is. Tesla had to use words in the beginning, then they proved it with their actions, and that's just all they're doing is action after action. Sometimes those actions are delayed, FSD, sure, but they are still working on it, and we can see that progress with their actions. Their actions have proven it with the production and deliveries of their vehicles, and the quality has been improving as well. So now we're going to look at Legacy Auto and the fact that they have no actions yet. They keep on talking the talk, but they are not walking the walk. And eventually, if they do get to the point that they're walking the walk, they're still going to be so far behind Tesla. It's literally going to be not a competition between Tesla and a specific other manufacturer. It's literally going to be Tesla versus everyone else. And everyone else is most likely going to be a majority of Chinese automotive makers. So we'll see how that plays out in the future, but I have a feeling that's how it's going to look. So I will check the charts again in the morning as we head into the FOMC final day of their meeting to determine what they're going to be doing for interest rates, seeing how the market's going to be in the morning. I have a feeling we are going to be seeing lower volume and probably a little bit of red and uncertainty going into that meeting. I could totally be wrong. Maybe we're going to go green because sometimes people on the inside just happen to know things. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how the market manipulators are going to try and manipulate us. Maybe they're going to try to do some bull traps or some bear traps. All I know is that I'm prepared either way. If the stock market does end up tanking, I am going to dump out of several of my losing positions just so I could take the loss as they are and not take a bigger loss. I will then wait to see where Tesla is going to settle as we pull back, and then I will end up dumping that cash into Tesla and just kind of monitor from there. And again, I will keep you guys posted as to where we are with the charts and the levels that I am seeing. And again, it's not financial advice, just some education and things that I am seeing for insights for you guys, as part of your due diligence. So let me know in the comments below, what is your strategy for what's going to happen tomorrow with the FOMC meeting? Do you have a strategy? Are you just watching from the sidelines? What do you think is going to happen? I'm thinking we are going to get that 75 basis point hike, but I truly don't know how the market's going to react. Some people think that it's priced in and others don't. So really don't know which way we are going to go at this point. The market is expecting a 75 basis point hike, but has it been priced in? We shall see. And I do want to thank you all so much. We already have 9 members on this channel. That is awesome. I'm definitely very grateful for all of you guys. If you do want to become a member, that link is down in the pinned comment below. Over there, I'm going to be sharing different spreadsheets, similar to what I do on Patreon, but I've got different levels as memberships. So you'll get price targets, you're going to get production and delivery numbers, you'll get my valuation model. I'm going to be trying to put out at least one video every other week or once a month for you guys until I can dedicate even more time to it in the future. Lots of other great perks down there as well that I will continue to add to over time. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have that Patreon, and that link is also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.